Greetings and welcome to Wizards Wonder Workshop. That's right, we are back here in the workshop. As you can see, let's jump into first person and I'll explain what's going on. So we riled up the Barbarians of the Fallen Forest, and last time we started constructing some fortifications, some defences. The first line of defence, in actual fact, which was pretty much a passive line of defence, just a wall and a cliff face to hold off the Barbarians, just in case I wasn't around, and my minions had to hold them at bay until I could get back and use my wizarding ways to deal with them. Obviously, that's great as long as I'm not too far away, but what if the minions need to do a bit more than just hold them off? Well, that's why I decided that it was time to equip them with some slightly more active means of defense, some offensive means of defense, if you will. For indeed, it is very true. It is truly said that the best form of defense is a good offense. So this here is not a good offense. This was my third or fourth attempt to build a trebuchet, and they just keep shaking themselves to pieces. I'm not quite sure why. I actually tried downloading a trebuchet plan, or in fact two trebuchet plans, off of the workshop, and both of those had the same problems. They would just shake themselves to pieces when I tried to use them. So I'm not quite sure what's going on. It may be that the Barbarians have got themselves a shaman who is laying a curse down upon the workshop. I have noticed some other issues. You may notice a decreased frame rate. I think our extensive use of physics components, rotors, ropes, all those sorts of things, is starting to have a detrimental impact on our performance. Not to mention the increasing complexity of the workshop itself with all of its various constructions. We'll have to keep an eye on this. If we can find a way to defeat the shaman's evil curse and increase performance, then all is well. Otherwise, we might have to look at what we can dismantle, and we might have to do some cleaning up. I mean, look, there's bits lying around all over the place from failed experiments. There's the half collapsed tower, which goodness knows what effect that's having. And of course, this week there's lots of new contraptions. So we're just going to press on for now, and if the performance becomes a real issue, we might have to break the workshop up into separate worlds or something. But we'll see. So yeah, basically, first things first. This is sort of like the little area I was using to test out some catapult designs. Here we have an early design, a couple of early designs for mobile catapults. These can be wheeled into position as needed. I think this was the first one. It's not the best, it's not the prettiest, but it's relatively functional. It's kind of hard for the minions to use, though, I have to say, because of the high loading position here. Like if I just conjure up a stone and drop this in, there we go, and then I can launch it. We're still moving. I need to find a way of breaking these wheels as well. I've tried the catch block, but it doesn't seem to do the trick. So I'm not entirely sure. But if we just demonstrate this, pow! There we go. It's a simple catapult, but it's effective. It can launch the small balls like that quite a distance. The larger balls, it's not quite so good at. But this is what I would call a light catapult. Like it's pretty much as small as they come. It's quick to reload. Like I say, I think the minions are going to struggle. If you can't fly, it's kind of difficult to get up here, which is why I did this revised version here. So this is the revised version just here, and the idea is minions should, in theory, be able to operate. In fact, a single minion should be able to operate it. It's got a little step that you can go. Well, you got to be careful. As a wizard / medieval engineer, I have an awful lot of mass, and I have a tendency to make vehicles move about when I'm trying to use them. Obviously, the minions. I'm just going to fly. The minions don't have quite so many problems using it like that, but I do. Right. Oops. Not so good. Right, there we go. I'll just drop in a stone. It works much the same as the other one. Press T, release it, off it goes. I think it's a little bit better because it pulls down a little bit further than the first one. I could raise this up a little bit maybe so that the arm pulls down even further, or build up the overall platform. But I think as a small, mobile, sort of quick to deploy catapult that I can position, more or less wherever I want with a bit of hassle, a bit of effort and faffing, they're all right. They do the job. It's an adequate level of defense. That there is a prototype, or the sort of like construction version of the next thing, which I'm going to show you, which is an addition to Jude's Watch, the watchtower. I have built a a static defense upon it. So if we just go up to the observation level, here we go. So here it is. The way to access it, you have to ascend this rope, so my minions have to have good rope climbing skills. I did cause a little bit of damage to the tower that I haven't yet repaired in its construction, but if we just climb up this rope onto the platform, there we go. This is what I call a medium catapult. It's a fixed catapult. It's got a slightly longer arm, it's slightly better engineered, it's got all of the shot here ready to load into it. And it's got a pretty decent range on it. Now you can shoot obviously small balls like this. Pow! See, look at that, right into the middle of the fallen forest. Probably landed on a barbarian and riled them up even more. But we care not anymore because we've got defenses. This can be rotated as well. It's got full rotation, so you can rotate it all the way around if you need to fire at them. If we've got a horde coming along this line here. Obviously, I'm using my wizard powers to rotate it, and my minions, well, they just have to work as a team. Yeah, it can cover the entire range. This is really at the moment kind of the primary defense, or the primary deterrent. This is my primary deterrent to the barbarians attacking. It's not too difficult to reset. It can be done entirely without having to fly or anything, which was a key design objective. Oh, we gotta wheel it back in. Here we go. I was wheeling it the wrong way. All the way down. Perfect. There we go. So we've wheeled it back in. I can just demonstrate it with a large shot. It's got a reasonable range with the large shot. Oh, not if we miss. There we go. So we just fire it. Pow! Not quite as far, but if there are hordes attacking, coming up to the wall itself, we can drop large shot on them, no problem at all. And there we go. So that's it's not the most pretty thing in the world. It's kind of a big thing sticking off the side. It's asymmetric because I wanted to have as maximum rotational range as possible to cover all angles of attack, which I think I've succeeded at. It's got sort of walls here just to protect the operators and the crew. I could build them up further if it was causing problems. If the barbarians, I'm pretty sure barbarians don't even have bows and arrows, but just in case, if they were sort of firing up or something or throwing rocks, this would provide a degree of protection. We could roof it over completely if necessary, but just going to leave it like that for now. So yeah, there you go. That is the second line of defense's main sort of main battery, main catapult. It was going to be supplemented, like I say, by a trebuchet, able to lob sort of shot into this area, but we haven't managed to make it work yet. We will keep trying, and hopefully we'll get that working. If not, you can always wheel up a few of those smaller catapults onto Trebuchet Hill there, or around this sort of area. We could line this whole hillside if we needed to with those little mobile catapults, and they would have enough range to just lob shot into this kind of clearing area here, which is maybe a concern if the barbarians were to mass there. But of course that covers this side, which is all well and good, but it doesn't really have the range to cover that side. Now again, we could use small catapults, but I decided that I wanted something a little bit more fancy than that. So I returned to my tracked delivery cart system of whatever it was called, and I have constructed this. We have a second track, an elevated track running all the way along this wall, and it goes into a storage room at the far side there. And if we just start to wheel it this way, now this could take some time, so I will probably cut a lot of it out, if not all of it. It was meant to be powered, right? This is why this thing's on here. It was meant to be powered by the rotor there through a power transfer. Every time I hook it up and activate it, crashes the game. Like I say, I think we're getting some physics issues, or possibly the barbarians shaman is causing us all sorts of difficulties with his curse. Let's keep reeling this in. And you will see what is coming down the track towards us. Hopefully you can just about make it out there. So basically, in the event of an attack, the call would go out, the minions would come up here, and they would roll out the second component of our defensive armaments, and that is this little tracked catapult It's attached to this thing, so it's a lot easier to operate than the other mobile catapults. This thing, you just like pull it into position to wherever you want. You need to put some little chocks or something just to stop it at the point you want to stop it at, because otherwise it just keeps rolling forever. And then once you're on here, it's designed to be operated by 2 crew. You've got the fireman, like the winchman, who's here to fire it, and then you've got the loader who's across on the other side. It's got a magazine, so you can leave some shot in here. It's off again. Put some shot. Oh, down it goes. That's going to cause some problems if it gets in the way. Yeah. Okay. As with many things in the workshop, it's not without its issues. As you can see, it really wants to roll all the time, and I can't find any way to break these wheels, to put brakes on the wheels. I need to keep working on it. There must be... The catch block doesn't seem to... Oh, look, there it goes again. Great. Well, maybe I reeled the rope all the way, and so it was sort of still trying to do it. Let's just detach it now, and we'll move this out to somewhere a little bit more useful under wizard power. See, look, it's like a perpetual motion machine. It just keeps rolling and rolling and rolling. Ready, stop. There we go, Superman. So yes, well, what was I saying? It's like many of the inventions in the Wonder Workshop, it's not without its foibles and its issues, but in general, it works. So here you have the loading operator. You pick up one of the balls, load it in. There we go. Oops. Oh. Load it in. There we go. We got there in the end. And then the firing operator on the other side. This is perhaps a slight design fault. There's no reason why this couldn't be operated by one person if it was designed slightly better and wasn't butt ugly. But you know, there you go. Actually, I say that the loader could actually fire it. It's on the move again. It's on the move again. Ready? Fire! There we go. And this thing's actually got some pretty good range. Because it is mounted on these rails, I've made it a little bit bigger. Again, this is kind of like a medium-sized catapult design. It's got a reasonably long arm, and it works. It works pretty well for actually, you know, firing things. It's incredibly glitchy though. Any platform that you're stood on that's got free rotation like this is just a nightmare because you just seem to send it spinning in every direction all the time. I can just about reach it from this side. Look, there we go. Reel it in, reel it in, reel it in, kind of. Carry on reeling, and there we go. So yeah, it can fire large shot as well. We just demonstrate, sort of. It's an awful lot easier. And you know what? I'm just going to fly because every time I touch this thing, it just makes it zoom about. Great. So we can load large shot in again. It's got a reasonably good ability to fire large shot. Pow! So again, if you've got people attacking close in, oh, I nearly hit the fallen forest sign there. Sorry about that. That would have been a bit of a blow, wouldn't it? As I say, like many of the things in the Wonder Workshop, it's not been a glorious success. But nonetheless, I think it provides an adequate level of defense. There is actually more of these as well. If we head down, you can see there's another one just in the doorway there, and there's sort of like more behind. The idea was they would be a train of them, and this was one of the main reasons why this was going to be better than you know, having just like individual ones that you could deploy along here. Is you could have a big long train of these. You could pull them all out under power. Yeah, it didn't like that at all. When I roped them together, I started getting pauses, like a second long pause every few seconds. I think it was something to do with the physics calculations for having so many different things roped together, because you've effectively got 4 wheels on their own axles as a physics object, then the chassis, then you've got like another axle which basically goes to the platform here, which is another separate object. Then you've got the arm, which is another separate object. You've got ropes into various places. It was just it couldn't handle it. My PC couldn't handle it. It is aging, and it does need to be retired at some point, and we will look at doing that at some point. But for now, we're just going to struggle on as we can. Great, so there you go. Adequate defences. Adequate defences are in place. We can deal with any immediate barbarian threat, or my minions can deal with any immediate barbarian threat without me, and that means I can go off and I can do things elsewhere in this world and indeed in other worlds, which will help. It will help to deal with the curse, no doubt. But I think for now that's it. I have been Weird Wizard. Thanks a lot for watching, everyone, and I will see you later.